evening, this your boy Freelancer Joe, ready to once again get cracking. I hope that didn't blow out anybody's speakers. My booming baritone voice, I'm sure, probably really triggers any bass subwoofers that you might have. Actually, did you hear that? Actually, I've always considered my voice, now I'm modulating it to try and be deeper, but I've always considered my voice to be nasally whenever I've heard it in recordings. I guess they have that, what is that thing? Your voice sounds different when it's inside your head because it's reverberating within your skull. And then, I've always wondered how my voice is actually perceived by other people. Sorry. Something just fell back there. Not fell, but shifted. So where was I? Well, I'm going to resize myself out of the way after I hit Windows and Escape. And I just closed that. Alright, so where was I? I was talking about how I wondered how I sounded to other people. And then I've also kind of always wondered how I was perceived by other people. For all my relentless self-bolstering about how awesome I am, which I am, and how I no doubt inspire and motivate people to strive to my level of greatness, which no doubt I do. There have been other times I've feared that my greatness was too overwhelming for other people. I think I remember, so this one project I was on, it was real funny. There was this guy there, and we were pretty, it was very early in my career, and he was a pretty cool guy, and we got along well enough. And then years later, he actually ends up on a project with my best buddy, and they're talking, and it's like, "Oh, you know this guy?" And he was like, "Oh." My friend was like, "Oh, you know this guy?" He's like, "Yeah, the first time I saw him, I thought he was going to mug me." It is one of my favorite stories. And then another time, well, no, I'm not going to go into that other story. But so how we're perceived by other people is interesting. I don't worry about it though. Is interesting that is the thing though. I'm just honestly curious. I mean, there's no point how people perceive you. Well, you don't worry about it, right? You just figure out how they perceive you, and depending upon how you want them to feel, and then you can adjust your projection as needed. And that's all this is. It's just how you project yourself to other people. Well, you can attempt to project yourself in one way to try and get them to feel a certain way, and then you need the feedback to figure out, whether or not you're doing it right or wrong. Of course, I'm not trying to manipulate people. I just am what I am. But if they do feel uncomfortable, then because I'm a nice person, I don't want them to feel uncomfortable, so I would modify my projection as needed, or at least take steps to reassure them that there's no reason for them to be comfortable. It's just me being me. And I think that's really the thing, that I would not modify who I am just so that I would be accepted. But I am curious to know how I'm perceived to make sure that it's not overly negative. So I don't mind being feared, but I want that fear to be. I would prefer that fear to be based on a rational fear as opposed to an irrational fear. And there is rational reasons to fear me. And I'll leave it at that. Let's just say you don't want to be on the list. Well, you can be on the list as long as I never get to the point where I want to make that list reality. And Freelancer Joe that'll never happen. Oh, this is taking a dark turn, hasn't it? That's not good. No es bueno. Or maybe it's all part of my plot to get that rational fear going again. No, that's completely irrational because if you're not on the list, you don't got nothing to worry about. I joke about it. There's nobody on the list. I have a list, but there's nobody on the list. Nobody's worth nobody's worth the effort. As far as I'm concerned, it ends up being a trade for a trade. If you take somebody's life, or theoretically, if you take somebody's life, your life is forfeit. It's an equitable trade. But the point is, nobody's life was worth more than mine, so nobody's worthy enough to be on the list. Yeah. Let alone the effort required to execute on the list. Ugh. Yeah, I'd rather just, if somebody really bugged me that much, I'd rather just move. Go do something else. It's a big world. It's a big universe. If somebody bugs you that much, just go do something else. Ugh. Alright, so what have I done? Aside from probably go a little too dark? Well, right now I'm starting up my... Oh, man, I'm almost sweating. Ugh. Yes. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's all the testosterone talking from my awesome workout. Today was shoulder press day, but I follow up my shoulder press by doing curls because my triceps are already blasted. Not really blasted because very small number sets, but I do my curls. Also because I normally do pull-ups and dips, but since I already did tricep exercises with the shoulder presses, I don't do the dips. So instead of doing pull-ups, I go ahead and do curls. But I did extra sets of curls today for various reasons. And yeah, it's got me running hot. Plus, it's actually another warm day too. I thought today was going to be the last of our 80-degree days, but I think we have to go for another week. It's kind of annoying, but I think by the beginning of next week, we should be in purely fall weather, and I fall for fall. All right, so me, myself, and I have just started up my sidebar template, and where we left off yesterday, if I recall correctly, was that I was still adjusting the styling. As much as I like this, which I do like this, I was adjusting the styling on this. And while I like the icons, now that I look at it, I won't tell you what I just saw. Thought. Now that I look at it, I'm not liking the gray for the background of the sidebar. We really want that sidebar, which contains the navigation links, to stand out, especially because it also it grays out this. And there's lots of things that I could do with that sidebar, for example. Let's look at their demo thing, right? And this is just the simplest version of the sidebar. It helps if I open the actual demo I want to show. Alright, so that's this one, right? And it grays out because it has the focus, which makes sense. And then permanent is one that's always there. I don't want that because... Why don't I want that? Well, I'm looking at it. I think the idea is there's no difference really than from just having it in the top bar. Or it's just always there. I want to have a little pizzazz, right? And clipped under the top bar, I could do that. I can actually do clipped under the top bar, which might not be bad, and still have it be appearing and disappearing, right? Kind of like this, right? I could do that. But I mean, you only want secondary actions on the right. Yeah, this is kind of cool, but this is only if you actually have icons for very specific actions. But these are kind of generic navigation things, so that's no point. Responsive, on the other hand, I could probably use that, but if I was really concerned about full responsiveness, I'd go with React Native. Anyway, Yeah. As much as I like this brand, I mean, I love this brand of fluid. The problem I have with this hardware is that after, not just this one, but this particular manufacturer, for whatever reason, and I think it's like planned obsolescence, and I don't know how they do it, but after a couple months of working greatly, the stuff starts to experience problems, just as they come out with a new line of things that can be purchased. It makes me very suspicious. Anyway, all right. So what I want to do, I'm going to change this background back to white so that it's easier to pop out. So sidebar. I mean, in theory, I could just go through the inspector to do it, but yeah. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Dang. I guess the dogs have developed thumbs and they've learned to pick things up and drop them. They seem to be better today, but that's because today is Columbus Day, and I'm presuming that the owners, my neighbors, have the day off, so they're there to spend time with the doggies. Okay, you see, you know what I do like about it, though? By having it this way? Alright, see, so the selection option actually works very well with the gray that I've picked as a scheme. Yeah, I do like that. View title 3. View title 3 was top and bottom. Oh, I don't have left and right. I don't have left and right. Oh, you know why? Because I have the entire thing here. There's no need for me to offset it. I didn't want to have it like the other ones where we kind of have the cards to the side. Because why? Is there anything I don't like about this? Why? It made sense because I wanted the card to be the primary focus, and I didn't want to have it offset. It works in the other ones because the navigation things are there, so it kind of weaves and flows. But here, the idea is that you want to hide these navigation items because you want your view to be the main thing. Okay. Alright, I can dig that, I guess. Now the question is, let me see, so this icon, well, this icon is light, right? Primary, yeah, primary light. So let's go with dark and see how that works. Too dark. Alright, let's go with main. Okay, that works. Your name or low. Okay. I am. Am I happy with this? Let's think. Is there any other styling I might want to add to this sidebar? Well, let's look at the examples. Have the divider, that's fine. I mean, really, it's just a list item, and you have dividers between similarly grouped things. So I don't really see much of a need at all. Although, now that's interesting. Did I say right on this? Classes, drawer, sidebar, open. How is the direction controlled? Direction is controlled. Toggle drawer left. Toggle drawer set state side open. Wait, is that a string? Let's look at the API. Drawer. Oh, it's the anchor. Do I specify the anchor? Really? Drawer classes open on click. Default is left, which I assume it's defaulting to. Is that right? I didn't see anchor in the sample code. Was I wrong? Was I not looking correctly? State top left, that's the open. Drawer open, anchor left. Yeah. That's why, because that one, alright, so what am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this bad boy configurable. So where is this guy pulling it from? Properties, sidebar label. I really shouldn't call it sidebar then. I should rename it to drawer. Because it is a drawer. And I should rename the template. Man. I have to rename the template and the project. We'll leave it sidebar. Anchor. By default, it's left. So let's just get it to work first. And sidebar open, anchor, and seahorse. Oh, that doesn't demonetize me. Well, if talk about the list doesn't get me demonetized, then nothing will. Anchor. So by default, it's left. Alright, let's see if that works. How y'all doing today, by the way? Doing good? Did I mention that it was Columbus Day? So neighbors are probably had the day off, so they're here keeping an eye on the dogs, which doesn't stop them from barking still every now and then. I've heard the discussions between them and the dogs, and it makes me seriously wonder if the dogs consider the owners the alphas. Alright, so that still works. They seem like a nice couple, which makes me suspect that the dogs might not actually view them as the alphas. I'm not a dog person so much as I'm not an expert on dogs, but basic. Did I say that? Okay, UIC, anchor right, anchor, sidebar, anchor. That should have done the trick, right? Drawer, anchor, top. Alright, let's see if there is an error. I mean, it was configurable. Alright, it didn't blow up when I added the configuration. Okay, sidebar. Oh, I didn't specify the COG. What, do we have an error? No, that's fine. Tooltip, yeah, really. I should clean up the warnings one of these days. Okay, that's interesting. Side. Joe. Why you be so foolish? Foolish Joe. Anyway, as I was saying about the owners, I'm not an expert on dogs, but alpha behavior, I've seen the basics. My guess is they probably feed the dogs before them. That's part of it. Before them or at the same time. Well, I'm making assumptions. They could just be a very not smart breed. I don't know. Right. There we go. Nice. Can make that configurable. Let's see how top looks. Top. Control S. Oh, that's kind of neat. I wonder if I should make that full screen. I actually kind of like that. Bottom though. I wonder what that's going to be like. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. I kind of dig that. Alright, but by default, we'll leave it on the left because that is the place where it should be. And just because something is cool doesn't mean you should do it. The reason it defaults to the left is, well, I'm assuming that the reason it defaults to the left is because, at least in the Western world, we read from left to right. So our eye tracking starts to the left and goes to the right. So things that pop out on the left will get our focus first. And since Util UI is based on the Google design spec, and the Google design spec is based on, no doubt, Google's millions of dollars spent on user interface research and the amount of data they get from all their Android apps, I'm pretty certain starting on the left is the way to do it. That said, from the top or bottom is still pretty friggin' cool. If you want to distinguish yourself, that's the way to do it. And as much as I enjoy being an individual, when you're trying to convey things to most people, you can distinguish yourself. But when you're trying to communicate ideas and information, you don't need to do it differently. It's just for the sake of being different. You want understanding, so you have to speak to them in ways that they'll understand. You need to present things in ways that will appeal to them. Oh, but Freelancer Joe, that's dumbing things down. It's like, there's a reason why so many artists are broke. They die broke. So, hey. Alright, so what is there anything else I really want to do? I got the links, I got there. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I'll admit, the sidebar is a little plain looking, but it'll work really. Oh, okay. Oh, this is good. All right. Okay. This is good. So we have the navigation list. All right. They got your name or logo. We got this, and then we got the navigation items. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another divider. Instead of your name or logo, I want to put the name. This might be confusing. Okay, alright, I got it. So instead of your name or logo there, we're going to put your name or logo here. Oh, vacuuming. Very important to clean, but I do all my stuff. See, that's unfortunate. They have to do their chores on a day off instead of enjoying their day off, like I am enjoying making this video for you. Site navigation. Let's see if that makes a little more sense from a viewpoint. Yeah, there we go. And your name or logo there. Okay. And you know what I could also do? Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to figure out why. There, you see these two? Why is this guy pinched differently? I got about 5 minutes. Let me see if I can figure that out. Not you. Is it the padding? I don't think it's the padding that's doing it. Button. Color inherent. 12 pixels. Something is it because of the button itself? That's interesting. So this is a font icon, font awesome icon for Facebook. Which one is it? It's social, fab Facebook-F. I bet you the dimension, well, maybe the dimensions are off. I need no icons found. This is the Facebook. Book. Facebook-F. Right? What are the dimensions on this? I bet you that's what it is. Because I don't specify. Tooltip, button, classes, button, root. Where are you getting? Yeah, root. If I say min width is 48px. px. There we go. That's what it was. Alright, okay, so let's go back here. Close this. Button root. Min width, colon. Oh, I said max height was 4038. I wonder why I said that. Curious. 38. Okay, min width, 48. You know what, I should just say height, width and height, but alright, let's see how that works. Alright, I assume it came back. Really? Button root, color padding. Oh wait, you got button root from here. And this is where you... Did you not recompile? No, you recompiled. Button base root. Which is what I... color primary, fine. Button base root. Color inherit. Is this style not being applied? Render navigation list, classes, nope, navigation buttons. It should be this, classes. You know, Joe, seriously, Joe, seriously, you gotta remember what you're dealing with here. There we go, classes button. Render CFG social buttons, which is what it is. Icon button, classes button, class name, icon button, class name for icon button, margin theme spacing unit, min height 48, min width 48. Come on, baby. There we go. The spacing is a little wide, but hey, oh no, you know what? There, that'll do it. Double check this real quick, because we just blew past the 30-minute mark. Nice. All right. I'm going to wrap this up for now then. thank you for joining me. I think we are just about done with this template. So we will be able to proceed now to the next step, finally, unless I feel like going back and changing one of the other templates. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Cool kid words about comments and suggestions in the box below, liking and subscribing if you're so inclined. I hope you will join me again soon, and that in the meantime, you take care and God bless.